Hey everybody, as most of you already know, YouTube gave me a second strike. That's right, I have two strikes on my Professor DoomII channel. And well, that was 14 days ago, and I am ready to start with a very, very important video series, probably going to be about a four-parter. And I do believe it's one of the most important video segments I have ever presented. And it's going to start off with numerology and a couple of movies, and we are going to work our way up to the World Economic Forum. And you're going to see some interesting stuff like George Soros participating in meetings, annual meetings of the World Economic Forum dating back to at least February of 2000, as you can see right here. Now, understand this. If you want to understand what is going on with the World Economic Forum and everything I'm going to present to you, you must watch every single one of these segments and pay attention very, very closely to what I'm going to show you, because they are all interconnected, believe it or not. Let's start off with video segment number one. Now, I know most of you are already familiar with the number 444, and as you can read right here, exactly what they talk about with this number 444 is that an angel could be reminding you that change is coming and to be prepared for what happens next. When you begin to see 444 frequently, pay close attention to where you saw this angel number. It could be a message. Okay, well, that's kind of scary, folks. I'm going to show you not only the movie 444, The Last Day on Earth, but I'm also going to show you another movie. The movie Now You See Me, about the four horsemen of the apocalypse, or the four horsemen as in the magicians, right? You guys remember that movie? Let's take a look at some of this stuff, shall we? Now, there were tarot cards that were handed out to the magicians to meet at a certain location where they were to be recruited to become these four horsemen of the apocalypse, or the four horsemen. And here are some of the cards that they were given right here. And what you'll notice is the all-seeing eye with the sun's rays. And I want to remind everybody, I have done many videos about who exactly the all-seeing eye represents, who this is. Saturn, Cronus, Ra, El, Enki, and yes, even the biblical Cain. If you have not seen any of my videos proving that the biblical Cain is Enki, he is Saturn, he is Cronus, and he is Ra, he is El, watch those videos because I prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Now, so now that you see that these are the cards from the movie Now You See Me, let's look at one up close. Now, you know what was interesting about the movie Now You See Me is that they all met at a certain apartment number, and in none of the cards do they mention an apartment number whatsoever. So was that a mistake on the part of the prop master or the producer or the director of this movie? I don't think so. I think that the clue on the card is the numbers, the numerology. What do we have associated with the all-seeing eye? That's right, 444. But not only 444, you also have 911, 45 East Evan Street, 4 plus 5 equals 9, and March 29th, 2 plus 9 equals 11. Are they indeed telling us that the numbers 9 and 11 are associated with the all-seeing eye? And are they telling us that 444 is also associated with the all-seeing eye? Since I've already stated and proven that the all-seeing eye is, for the sake of this video, we'll just leave it at Saturn Cronus, or Saturn, okay? I've already mentioned how all of these entities are one and the same with the others that I previously mentioned. Let us take a look now at the movie 444, Last Day on Earth. And for those of you who are watching this video and are unfamiliar with this movie was about the ozone layer being depleted, and it was clocked down to that it was going to kill everybody off on the globe at this time, and this was going to be the last day of everyone's life on Earth. Okay? That's what the movie was about. Starring Willem Dafoe, and I'm not sure who this person is right here, but what is interesting about this movie is this woman right here, she paints a certain picture on the floor, or a drawing, or whatever you want to call it, and these two lay down in the middle of this drawing for their final moments on Earth. And I'm going to show you that here. So as you can see right here, this is indeed Willem Dafoe, and this is the movie. And here is the drawing that she put on the floor. And everybody, I have said repeatedly that when you are looking for clues in a movie, don't just listen to the dialogue, because the dialogue holds a lot of clues. But when the camera focuses its attention on a certain object, or a certain paper, or a certain anything, there could potentially be a clue when the camera does that. And if you will watch, okay, the camera zooms in to show you that this is indeed the Ouroboros. Okay? So now, as I've already pointed out, the tarot cards from the movie, Now You See Me, is showing you 444 and the all-seeing eye. If, as I've already proven, the all-seeing eye is associated with Saturn, what is the Ouroboros associated with? From the repository of the University of Pennsylvania Education Department, the Ouroboros was associated with the god Saturn. Saturn is Enki. He is Ra, he is El, he is Brahma, he is Helios, he is Sol Invictus. Yes, the Statue of Liberty. Statue. S. Of. O. Liberty. L. Sol Invictus. That's right. The Statue of Liberty is in the waters of New York, and that is Saturn right there overlooking the city of New York, or the state, whatever you want to call it. Okay? And so, as you're seeing, the all-seeing eye associated with those numerology, as I showed you. And the all-seeing eye is Saturn. And the all-seeing eye is associated with the Ouroboros. Now, let me show you a few other things here before I get ready to leave this off and get ready for the next piece to this puzzle that's going to lead us to the World Economic Forum, shall we? So let's just bring this up one more time here, shall we? Okay. Let's stop that right there. So here's my thing, okay? If you are going to have in your commercial, SoFi commercial, Americans have over $444 billion in credit card debt. Why wouldn't you say Americans have almost $450 billion in credit card debt? Why wouldn't you say Americans have over $400 billion in credit card debt? Why would you say they have over 444? That's right, because the clue is the numbers, everybody. The numerology. Absolutely. And numbers are appearing. We've seen the number 23 in movies. We've seen 9/11 in movies, and as I just shown you, the numbers 9/11 on that tarot card, right along with 444, are indeed associated with the all-seeing eye. And from the movie 44, last day on Earth, they are associated with the Ouroboros. Well, the all-seeing eye and the Ouroboros are associated with the exact same entity, Saturn. Does everybody understand that? So everybody, the next video series that's going to be coming up, this is all, believe it or not, is all going to lead to the World Economic Forum, everybody. And I want to show you one last thing before I move on to the next video series. And I've shown you all this before, but I want to show it again because I want you to see something and I want you to hear something. Okay, do you see this hand right here? Do you see how that's the Ouroboros right here on his hand? Associated with Saturn, everybody. This is associated with the god Saturn, or Enki, or Ra, Cronus, all of the above, okay? So now I want to start it off again, and I've already presented this in this video right here. Warning, our dark winter is their golden age for man. Okay, so I've already presented how what he says about there's a revolution coming, and what did we hear from the World Economic Forum? That's right, the fourth industrial revolution is coming. So indeed, there is a revolution coming, just like Liam Neeson says in this commercial. But there's something else I want you to hear, he says. Okay, let's open her up. Let's check it out.
There is a revolution coming.
Excuse me? What do you mean?
Ouroboros.
The future is staring back at us.
Like a perfect picture on glass.
Picture on glass. And this future, it must be protected.
What's it got to do with me?
Look.
What is it?
It will change everything. That's why they want to stop it. They will come after you without cease. Because the future belongs to us.
The Ouroboros on his hand, and you are going to listen to what this guy asks him at the end, okay? So what I am trying to tell you now is that Liam Neeson is Saturn. And he is telling you that the future belongs to us. Who? The Titan gods? Is that what he's trying to say? Well, when I present to you some of the upcoming stuff here, you may just get your answer. And you may not like what you hear. But let's finish with what he asks him.
Oh, come now. I've already told you.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Oh, come now.
I've already told you.
I've already told you. The future is staring back at you.
Well, he didn't tell him who he was, but there's one interesting thing that you can take away from this is that Ra and the other gods would never reveal their actual true name. Do you guys remember that? Do you remember how Ra would not give his name because it would give up his power? And Isis, his own daughter, was trying to get his real name from him so that she could gain his power. But you get the idea that Liam Neeson is Saturn and that the future belongs to him and whoever he's talking about. What does the World Economic Forum have to do with all of this? Well, you're about ready to find out here in this video series, everybody. Stay tuned.